number 1.
In Harden's return to Houston, he took it personal, having an absolute phenomenal game, getting almost a triple-double with 36 points. But of course, the headliner of the game was the number 1 overall pick, Izzy Ball, matchup versus the 4 pick, Jameer Ware. The Rockets have started the year 3-0 and have looked to simply outrun the other teams with their youth. The rookies in this game went head-to-head in an amazing matchup. Izzy showing why he was the number 1 overall pick, getting 21, 13, and 8 in just his 4th career game with only 3 missed shots. Tonight seemed to be Izzy's breakout game because he was just on fire the entire night and just controlling the pace of the entire game, pushing it up the floor just whenever he wanted, and it seemed like the rest of the Jazz could not keep up. In a very close game, James Harden hits a 3 to make it just a 3-point game. And after a couple of shots, it's just a 117 to 116 game with Jalen Green on the free throw line. He makes both of them to make it once again a 3-point game, 119 to 116. And Izzy is on the free throw line. He can put the game away, and he gets nervous. The moment is just too big for him too early in his career, and James Harden gets a shot and he barely misses, and the Rockets are going to walk away with a fairly close win, 119 to 116, and they are now 4-0. Ware got 15, 3, and 4 in a block in a close loss to the now 4-0 Rockets. The two Western teams have seen each other in the playoffs many times in recent years. This matchup is for sure must watch from now on. In the season opener, the reigning champions at home played the great up-and-coming Cavs team. The Heat had a great performance from Jimmy Butler, getting 21, 11, and 9. Donovan Mitchell also played great, scoring 35 points. This was the first time these two teams have met since the conference finals, where the Heat also won. The offense of the Cavaliers still looked explosive this year, but the defensive group of the Heat actually outscored them, winning 146 to 132 in the season opener. If you're a Heat fan, then you're excited for a possible back-to-back championship since LeBron James. And if you're a Cavs fan, you're not too worried because your team is still looking very explosive and very dangerous. And the battle of the two Eastern Conference teams, both of them being in the Atlantic Division, the Wizards just signing Chris Middleton and letting go of Kristaps Porzingis, and the Wizards also drafting Paul Thompson with the 6th overall pick. Kadon Ryan getting picked one spot before Paul Thompson at the 5 spot, getting selected by the Hornets. The Hornets let Terry Rozier and Gordon Hayward go, but they got Colin Sexton in return. Paul Thompson, being a great 3-and-D player, played amazing tonight and actually really showed why he maybe should have got picked over Kadon Ryan. Kadon Ryan being a playmaking, all-around scoring threat and isn't the best passer for a 6'6" shooting guard, while being significantly injury-prone. The rookies, Kadon Ryan and Paul Thompson, go head-to-head in a heated rivalry, I guess, because they went head-to-head, toe-to-toe matchup. Paul Thompson locking up Kadon for a few plays, Kadon getting past him and scoring. Flagrant fouls Paul Thompson got into Kadon's head a little bit, forcing him to shoot a little haywire. Kadon Ryan has shown flashes of being a great scorer and even playmaker, but he needs to learn to shoot a little bit better, and that will come with time. He still seems a little bit raw and may be recovering from the knee injury. Paul Thompson shows great potential to be a great 3-and-D prospect, and he just needs to work on fouling less and reaching in less. But he has shown great potential for a really bad defensive group in the Wizards. The Blazers and Jazz take on each other in the opening week of the new season. James Harden and his new team versus Damian Lillard never running from the grind. Placement for Rudy Gobert, Jameer Ware played great this game, getting 23, 11, and 6, getting involved early and often. Ware is a pick-and-roll lob threat with the ability to space the floor and run the floor. A perfect match for their newly signed James Harden. The Jazz really may be building something in Utah. Jazz look like they're already a potential playoff team, so will Jameer Ware really fit into the culture? Will James Harden's departure backfire on him as the Jazz lose another tightly contested game, losing 101-95 to the Blazers? Lillard making the game-sealing layup, continuing the clutch narrative around his name. The Knicks at Detroit, a beautiful court by the way. This game was two teams just scoring the ball whenever they wanted. The second overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, versus the fourth player in the depoy race, Mitchell Robinson. Victor at 7'4" can do it all. He can shoot, rim protect, dribble, and attack in the post. Keontae George, the 8th overall pick in the draft, had a nice game scoring the ball, but will the Rockets regret not drafting the seemingly generational talent in Victor Wembanyama, or will Izzy prove his spot? Victor had 26, 11, and 7, his best performance so far in the little we've seen from this season. The number 1 overall pick, Cade Cunningham, combined with Wembanyama, scored 50 tonight. We may be watching the next great duo in the making. The Pistons win, having 4 players score over 24 points. And this year, the Knicks want to actually be competitive with their duo of Jalen Brunson and Keontae George, and they have Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. Who will play that small forward position? Is RJ Barrett really good enough? And Victor Wembanyama, this game just looks glitchy. This man really might just change the entire NBA. I don't know if the Rockets were right drafting Izzy at 1. But we'll see. This year's Rookie of the Year race is going to be very tightly contested. Last year's number 1 seed in the West versus the up-and-coming Hornets. Zion and the Pelicans quickly start to get the edge versus Michael Jordan's team. This Hornets group just does not seem to be clicking defensively. It could be due to the lack of ball movement. It seems like everyone wants a piece of the pie without sharing. And please do not leave from that corny comparison. Kedan Ryan looked a little banged up while he was getting up to shoot free throws. After making one, he makes another one. A good free throw shooter, he's a good scorer, hope to be a playmaker, hope to be a passer in the future. If you're the Hornets, when do you get worried about his potential injuries? Kedan has been shooting inefficient, but he has shown flashes of being a deadly scorer. Kedan might end up being the deadliest guard in the draft. It's too early to make any predictions, but if healthy, I think Kedan will be a potential all-star. LaMelo gets some dunks, but it's not enough as the Pelicans pretty easily win over the 2 young Hornets. The 2 young groups both look pretty good, but the Pelicans just seem to be a little more advanced. Kedan, 17 points on 19 shots. He will look to be more efficient in the near future. And Zion putting up Zion numbers, leading his team to a victory. Looking at the standings through 15 games, the Young Thunder on top, the Western Conference with Lillard trailing behind. The young teams pretty much just stacked the entire top of the Western Conference so far. Pelicans, after a first seed last year, are only 6-9 to start the season. The Hornets are at the 2 spot in the East, LaMelo being able to play at an all-star level, feeling the help of Kedan Ryan getting some pressure off of having to dribble the ball 24/7. Bucks start off slow, missing Middleton deeply. Philly with no Harden are at 500 at the 7 spot. Not too many other shocks besides the Nets struggling, but is that even considered a shock anymore? Looking at the injuries so far, the only real injury is Chet Holmgren. Last year, he missed the entire season with a foot injury, and now he's injured once again. And looking at the Rockets' game plan, Izzy Ball is starting. He's officially a must-start, getting heavy minutes already. Russell Westbrook signed with the Spurs in the offseason, hoping to make a career resurgence. He faces off in the Battle of Texas versus the number 1 overall pick, Izzy Ball, and his former team in the Houston Rockets. Teams seem to want their shot at this number 1 overall pick. People are dying to see how Izzy matches up with these NBA stars, and these stars are loving to play against someone with so much hype. Will Izzy be able to handle so much pressure into the new season, and will the Rockets be able to perform with all the lights shining on them? Izzy seemed to be off his game to start, but he eventually got shots to fall and to find open reads, and he got it going. The Rockets were up as much as 19 points, but the Spurs fought their way back into this game. Westbrook looked absolutely amazing out there. Westbrook could not be stopped in his masterclass performance. He got 45 points on 17 of 23 field goal shooting and 8 for 10 on threes, all season highs for this year. Westbrook has bounced back. But oh my lord, what a dunk by Jalen Green, just showing how explosive he is off the first step. That man just caught an absolute body. Good pass from Westbrook. Jalen Green is on the free throw line, shooting 2. He ends up making both free throws, which gives Westbrook an opportunity to send the game into OT and tie it up at 119. And the shot is up over Izzy Ball. And it hits. Heartbreak in San Antonio for the Houston Rockets. Izzy Ball tried his best to contest it, and with the chance to make it a 4-point lead with a minute left, Izzy misses the mid-range that seemed open. Westbrook finds the open man to tie up the game, and on a hop-step layup, Russell Westbrook wins the game for the San Antonio Spurs. If you're the Houston Rockets, who do you blame? If you're the Rockets, you cannot lose games like this. The Rockets have started the year 4-0, but are now 7-8 after 15 games through this season. Thank you guys for watching episode 2 of the My League series. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Peace.